Alright everyone, so in this video here, I just got this tough pouch case for the Nintendo Switch. This is from Hori, and I've always been a fan of Hori's cases up until a certain point. A lot of their recent cases that they made for the Switch and even for the 3DS systems, I haven't really cared about them too much because it didn't really give what it wasn't really providing what I was looking for. So before I show this one here, a while ago I made a video about this TomTalk tough pouch case for the Switch, and one thing you will notice is that the Hori version is actually a thicker case, but there is a reason for it. This is not a bad case, but one of my biggest problems with this case though is, well, let's just say the way it sits in here, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get this out without like plopping it over, you know, like trying to dig in and trying to grab it. But the materials inside is actually really nice. But let's see how the Hori version is. And this one does actually cost a little bit more. I think this was about $25, whereas these you can get it for slightly under $20. So either one, they're not exactly expensive cases. But let's go ahead and unclip these. Plus, you do get the advantage of having the branding on these things, on these cases, whereas this, there's no branding on them. But yeah, we got this thing here, and one thing I do notice right away, this has a much better zip. This has a better zipper than this one. This one is only okay, but it's not exactly a smooth zipper though. This one is actually really smooth. And if we open this, we take these foam pieces out, and it is kind of a similar design here where it does stay in here. But one thing you will notice though is one of the problems with this case is how the system sits in here. When you have the Switch on here, now unfortunately in this video I don't have my Nintendo Switch with me, mainly because it's in repair for cracking issues. I don't know if it's because I do a lot of heavy uses on it, or maybe this case had something to do with it. I'm not 100% sure. One thing I do know though is the way the Switch sits in here, when you have the controllers attached, it sits on these end pieces, and then this area here is kind of just levitated. Whereas the Hori version, it all stays flat. Yeah, it's about the same in terms of toughness. But that is one thing I actually like about this version though, is the entire thing stays flat, whereas this, you can kind of squeeze this, and there is an air gap in here obviously just because of how this case is designed. It's almost like they didn't want to have like little humps on the end of this, whereas the Hori version has these things. But I think by having a reverse on this might have been a little bit of a problem. But you know, I'll try this one for a while, see how it works, and I'll try to get back to you on that. But the biggest reason why I wanted to try this one is one complaint I do have about this is that there's no pouch in here. Yes, you do have spaces to put your game cards in. you know, if you like to carry your physical media stuff with you. But this has the same thing here too. But there's also a pouch. So I can put like a cleaning cloth, maybe a charging cable, or, you know, or a pair of headphones in here. You know, I can have something else on here. Whereas this, I'm kind of limited on just storing games on here. Yeah, I could probably put like a cleaning cloth and just have it sit there. But it is kind of nice to have an actual pouch in here. And if we go to the games real quick. So this version, the Tom Talk version, only holds up to 8 games, whereas the Hori version holds up to 10. And it seems like these might be a little bit easier, but honestly, these aren't really too hard either. But let's put one in here, see what happens. And also another advantage here is you can actually see what games are in here, since each one of these have little holes in them. And then you can just take them out. Whereas this, you know, you kind of just throw it in there, but you don't really know what the games are unless you know, slide them out. I only have 2 physical games, so this part here is not that big of a deal for me. But for someone that does have quite a bit of games and they want to carry like the 10 or 11 physical games with them, one being inside the system itself, at least you can see what games there are in here. Plus you have the added bonus of the pouch. And of course, I do prefer the zipper on this one. It's a lot smoother, and you do get the little Switch emblem zippers on here, which is kind of cool. But one caveat with the Hori version, of course, is the thickness. It's not that much thicker, honestly. But it's only slightly thicker, but I don't think it's going to be thick enough that it's actually going to be that big of a problem. If you're thinking of, you know, putting a case like this and like putting in your back pocket, for example, personally for me, this one kind of did a better job, just because it was slightly thinner. But I'll try this one out for a while, see how well I like this, and I'll make a separate video and give my final verdict on this. But this is just more of a quick look in first impressions. First impressions that I will say is, so far I am kind of liking this case a little bit more than the Tom Talk version. It does have a better zipper, and I do like the fact that when you put the Switch in here, that it is actually laying flat and not levitating like this version does. But one thing I do notice though is the cloth inside is smoother on this one. I'm not entirely sure if that's really a big deal though. Hori knows how to make accessories, especially their cases. I don't think they would be using this kind of material if it wouldn't, without damaging it. So I don't think you're going to have a problem with that. But the big thing for me is having this extra pouch here that I can put, you know, cables or clean cloths or, you know, whatever I want in this part. So, and it holds 2 more games. So that's pretty much it. I got this on Amazon. I'm pretty sure other stores will start carrying this soon. But it is called the Tough Pouch from Hori. It is an official Nintendo licensed product. By the way, this is not licensed by Nintendo, but this one is. But yeah, I'll when I get my Switch in, I'll try this out, see how well I like it. If I don't like it, I'll let you guys know. Anyway, that's it. Like always, have a good one. Leave those comments down below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And like always, have a good one.